Hello, everyone. So really, I don't know if I should be crying or smiling, but I was just scammed of $2,000 sometime last month, and I've encountered a couple of scamming attempts since I began to use the internet, but this one was entirely new, entirely strange, and it was well thought out. So if you are a digital person, you make use of the internet, or even just by living, you have a smart device, you will need to watch this so that you don't fall prey of these scamming attempts. So let's get right to it. Okay, so it all started from Facebook, and this guy reached out to me. Of course, I've gotten a lot of jobs from people online, both WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. I believe this was just one of it. He chatted me up. The person is actually Luis Sanchez, as at the time he chatted me up. Unfortunately, as I was trying to do this recording, he had changed his name to what you see here. As at the time he sent me this message, 15th March 2024, I checked his profile and I discovered that it was quite new, and that was the first red flag I noticed, because we didn't share any group in common. We barely had friends in common. Out of the blues, he just knew I should be a designer and decided to chat me up. So you can see the messages, and then I replied, sending him some designs, images, and all that. And then he told me he had a friend who needed a designer to do a quick job, right? And she was on Telegram. Sent me the link, which I followed cautiously, and it took me down to Telegram. So it took me straight to Telegram, and when I got there, I introduced myself, and then she replied, and that gave me the second red flag. I called, I said, "Hi, Melissa," and then she replied and still said, "I am Mrs. Melissa," which told me that she was just copying and pasting a format. All right, so we continued, and getting the job was so easy, like miracle no dey tire Jesus. Each logo $200, and she said she had 10 logos for me to design. Isn't God great? Isn't God great? Clap hand for Jesus. So I accepted the job. She sent me the document, decided to design something. Now, if I designed anything, no matter what it was, and submitted, she would have accepted it, because the goal wasn't for me to design. It was just a means to an end. And then submitted the logo to her. And immediately she got it like I predicted. She didn't, there was no revision, there was no review, there was no need for it. It was just perfect to her. Initially, I asked her to pay me in advance, just for me to be sure. But she said no, she would pay me only when I submit the first logo, which is typical of the scam and all that. And so she immediately accepted to pay me the first payment after I submitted that logo. And guess the payment she wanted to give me as first installment, out of $2,000 for $2,000 for 10 logos. She sent $1,500 immediately after designing the first logo. So that was another red flag. But something interesting happened after that. I was watching out, because I asked her if the money was going to come to my Nigerian account immediately, directly, and she said yes. I missed this point. She needed to be sure that I was from an African country, because you will get to know why she needed that very soon. And so as we went along, she now gave me feedback that I needed what they call a VAT code. A VAT code. I've never heard of that before. I went online, searched for it, and never saw anything like that. But she said I needed it, and that's why the money is hanging. So that was another red flag. The money is sent. Is there a code that you use to send it very well, or send it again? I don't get it. Maybe bankers will understand. But I asked my friends who were in the bank, and made some other research, and there was nothing like that. So that was the next red flag. And then the interesting thing was that she now had to refer me to someone else who she did business with from Nigeria, and the person got the VAT code, and she was able to send the money. The money was able to arrive in the person's account. So she gave me the contact of the person. Peter Ben came into the picture. Apparently, Peter Ben is a student of a university, according to the script. I did the job for her some time ago, and she paid him money. It hung. Then he got a VAT code, and it was cleared, and the money arrived, and all that. And so he explained all these things to me without much stress. told me there was a vendor that did it for him. So he gave me the link to the vendor and then advised me to contact the vendor on WhatsApp. All right. He also encouraged me to make sure I get the VAT code because so that my money can be released on time. And as a sharp Igbo boy now, I decided to see if I can play one or two. So I asked him to lend me the money for VAT code. I didn't have any money, and if he can lend me, I'll give him 3 times the amount when the money arrives. But of course, a scammer will not want to be scammed. So he gave me 1001 reasons why I couldn't do it, and I was even wondering who will miss that kind of opportunity. But anyways, that was what led to Peter Ben, and what led away from Peter Ben to another person on WhatsApp. So the contact he dropped led to Mr. Success, a VAT expert, according to him. He gave me all the details about VAT, explained everything, the meaning of VAT, the usefulness of VAT, and then the various packages they have for VAT. I decided to play along and I asked a couple of questions. So when he told me the price for that VAT, which is where they were going to exactly, I decided to play along and told him I didn't have any money, I didn't have much on me. And he asked me how much do I have, which is another red flag. We negotiated back and forth. I told him I had just about 1,000 naira to get it, which he refused, said I should make a better commitment. So we just kept going back and forth. I by this time I already knew it was a scam and I knew their end point, so their end game. So I wasn't responding as much. But what surprised me was that when I delay in response from WhatsApp, from the guy on WhatsApp, the Mrs. Melissa immediately after some time chats me up and asks me for the code that she needs to quickly process the transaction. And when she now asks me and I tell her that I chatted the guy up, he's not responding immediately I tell her that she will tell me I should keep trying. And almost immediately the guy would send me a message, checking up on me and all that. At the same time, the other Peter Ben would send me a message when he discovers that there is a delay in communication and all that, just to encourage me to get the VAT code and all. So I told the Miss Melissa that I was going to contact my account manager to see if he can get me the VAT at a cheaper rate, and then that was the end of the conversation. And the interesting thing now is that when I was trying to make this video, I decided to check up on the various accounts that we had the conversation and all that. And to my amazement, of course, I expected it. All the accounts have been deleted. Those that couldn't be deleted have been changed. The names have been changed. Thankfully, I predicted this already, so I did a recording immediately. I discovered it was a scam. I did a recording on time so as to make this video when I had the chance. So interesting experience, right? So if you have a VAT code or you know what a VAT code is, can you comment in the comment section? Let me know. Let me be sure that I did my research properly. And if you can help me with the VAT code, please help me so that I can reclaim my $2,000. I will need some millions in my account right now. But the truth is that let's try to be safe out there. No matter how much you want a job or a gig or a side hustle, please be careful not to fall prey. Don't send money easily for someone to help you. All right, be careful if you are to send money for an assistance or for a job. Be careful that it's not fake. And then please be exposed to some of these things, because if you are not exposed to digital life, to cybersecurity, and what is the do's and don'ts of the internet, you may easily fall prey. Thank God I'm enlightened when it comes to technology and IT and internet, and so it was not easy, and it has not been easy for these scammers to really get at me. All right, now this is not an invitation to other scammers out there to come and try me, but I have a big God and I know God will protect me. So please stay safe out there. See ya.